Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your lady being beautiful, me, Andrétta. This is the Andrétta Show. And you can always, stay tuned with us because now it's on Thursdays at 8 p.m. and on Spotify and Thursdays 8 p.m. on YouTube. So, okay. So, what I have today, I have a motivational speaker. She's a singer songwriter. She's a songbird and she's all over the place. She's touring, right? And she's an actress. Did I say actress? Well,
I don't
I'm
know.
saying it again. I'm saying it again if I didn't. If I did. So, Miss Brandi Little. Welcome, everybody. Miss Brandi Little. Hi. Last time I seen you was December 2020.
Yep. That was a long time ago.
No, I think it was after that because we did she did another filming. She had to do it again for the show at another spot in Atlanta.
I don't think I came to that one.
No, you did.
Did I?
No, you did.
Okay.
All right. You did. Right. I remember. No, I remember because I was showing you some things.
Is that when you had the big jacket on and I love the jacket?
Yes. The fur, the big fur.
I loved it. I never got it.
Yeah.
Fashion Nova.
Right.
I wanted it so bad. Yeah.
But yeah, well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I have to tell you, I listened to Runway.
Runaway. Mm-hmm.
Runaway. Did I say runway? Runaway. Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Yes, I was listening to that one, and there was one on there. It was Tell Me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, all right. All right. And then now you have Bloom.
Yeah.
Now I was listening to Bloom, and I understand you said that you what you call it, ciphered.
Oh yeah.
She
freestyled it.
She freestyled ciphered.
It's the same thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You and I'm listening to that, and I was like, you have a sound like Jill Scott, a mixture of Jill Scott and some others, maybe Naomi Simone.
Yeah.
And see, I'm
you picking it up. You picking up the jazz feel.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
A lot of like my newer, younger influence would be like a Chrisette Michele.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But
yeah. Amy Winehouse.
Can't go wrong. I'm sorry. Even with Amy Winehouse, yes. And Naomi Simone. Am I saying that right?
Nina Simone.
Lord, Naomi. Wait a minute. Probably a mixture of. Okay, look, you know what I'm saying. Nina Simone.
Yeah.
Jill Scott, yes, and love all that. And the vibe was just like relaxing. And I was like, okay. But because you was freestyling on this one called Bloom.
Yes.
Now you can find that on Spotify.
Yeah. Yep, it is on Spotify.
And I was like, okay. Who was you talking about? Because each one, because I'm like listening to each one now because you freestyling this, and you have some backup, and you're doing your backup,
right?
I believe.
Right.
Now, of course, you just freestyle and then came back, and you had to add in what you were listening to.
Right.
Okay. Now, see, I know because
I
have my own little single. I have my own little single out there. But anyway, I get it, and I was impressed with it because I'm like now I have like. Who are you talking about?
Whoever I was talking about wasn't real at that time in my life. But it's funny because I kind of manifested my man, who I'm with now. And, I think...
Talk about that because everybody wants to know how to do the Sierra's prayer. So you
right?
manifested yours. Okay.
I pray, I prayed through music. So it's weird because like each time that I went to the studio while doing Bloom, it was after a performance. And my manager at the time, shout out to Christina and Strong, they would be like, all right, well, let's come to the studio. You just did a 2-hour set. Let's go record. And so I was kind of feeling nice. I've been drinking a little bit. And so we would go and I was just vibing. And so I wasn't even in a relationship at the time that I made some of those songs. Mm-hmm. But I was just still in that spirit, I guess, of wanting love and wanting that. And
would that be different?
So I think when I did Different, I think I had started dating someone at the time. So this is how it went. I did Friends first, right? I did Friends. I think
Friends,
I did
Friends.
Friends was the very first song I did on the project. Then I did what was the next one? Friends, Fairy Tales.
Now Fairy Tales.
Yeah, Fairy Tales is my favorite song. Yeah.
Okay. Fairy Tales is Hero Without a Cape.
Yeah.
And things like that. Go on.
I have no idea where these words come from. Like I wish that I could tell you guys there's a method to the madness, but I just get in the zone, I hear the beat, and so what happens is like I'll sit out there like with them by the monitor and everything, and he'll play like a few seconds of a beat, and if I like the first few seconds, I'm like, don't play no more. Run to the booth. All right, I'm ready. And then I'll just flow from there. and what and
That's
it's
awesome.
weird because it's like I know how to end the song.
No, it's not weird. I get it.
You get it?
No, I do. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like choreography.
I guess so.
You know,
I can't dance.
No, see,
so-
for me, I'm the opposite. I know I
Right.
can sing, yes,
Yeah.
but I may not be. That would take me some time.
Exactly.
To do the singing, putting all the parts
Right.
together. But with choreography,
You know exactly.
yes, and then they're like, how you think about that right off the and know the beat when it's going to. Yes, so I
Right.
get it. It's to me, it's just like singing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I definitely
yeah.
get it.
So that's definitely a gift from God. I mean, I guess it's the same reason why
It
I
is.
speak and I do speaking, because I don't write any speeches down. I just kind of like have a internal thing of what I want to say.
High five.
Yeah.
Just high five. Just
Thank
high
you.
five on
I
that one.
received that one.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, you were so welcome. Yeah, I was listening to fairy tales and I was like, okay, heroes without a cape.
Yeah.
Hero without a cape. And I was like, okay. And you had that graspy sound.
Yeah.
You know, and how you
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, I'm listening.
Right.
I'm listening.
Right.
And you seem to keep that sound a little bit. And
Yeah.
I like how your vocals are too, because you're bringing it up and you showing
Yeah.
your range. And I was like, okay,
Right.
I love it.
Right. I feel like, honestly, like if I were to do that, if I were to write it, I probably wouldn't get a lot of those organic notes out. And sometimes like
get it.
that's the downfall to freestyling the song, is because now I have to try to remember whatever this is that I created. And
Right.
some notes I cannot sing again. So it's just like, you're going to have to only hear it on the album.
Like, what did I do before? Wait a
Exactly.
minute.
Like, how did I
get it.
make that? Yeah. So
But it was awesome.
Thank
It
you.
really is, and that's Bloom.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was out. That came out in 22.
Yep.
Correct. Okay.
Mhm.
And now Runaway 2021.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's a single,
Yes.
right? So it's upbeat. Now I wrote a note down that we're okay. We were supposed to be more than this baby.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you kept that. Is that something that you kept that in that what you call it, you kept that that lyric where it was a how you say
What?
chorus in the chorus.
What, I brought it back? I don't know. What did I do?
You know, we were supposed to be more than this baby.
yeah.
And you kept bringing that back, and I said, okay, I like how she was.
Yeah.
that in
So
there.
that was the first song I ever freestyled. So to tell a little bit on my age, I did that 11 years ago.
No.
Yeah, that was the first song I ever like really freestyled. I was just in the studio. Shout out to my boy Drum Gang. We was just in there chilling, vibing.
Girl.
Did the same thing, played the beat, and that was actually about someone. It was about someone I had
See,
dated
now
years
this
ago.
one was about
That one was about someone.
because
yeah,
that's where I kept saying.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
But to be fair, he never gave me a ring. So it's like, I'm a storyteller, right? Because I am an actress. So I
Yes.
have a very vivid imagination.
Yes.
And so I kind of pull from different things. But no one ever gave me a ring and then played me or anything like that. But
Okay.
yeah.
So see, I was leading to something like that because I'm like, who are
No,
you talking about?
I've never been engaged. Yeah.
I was listening to that one, and that
Right.
one brought me like, okay, who would you talk? Like,
But
what
let me
happened
tell you this,
there?
though. So many people are just so convinced that my music is about them. So I will never disclose
Is that-
names.
You think this song is
About
don't
you, but it ain't. Now, and that's what I'm saying. Like my man who I'm with now. Shout out to Nemo. I love you.
How long you been with?
We've
this
been
man?
together a little over a year. Yeah.
Okay, and he better be bringing out a ring.
Yeah, you think so?
I know so.
Yeah, you know so. It's
Yeah,
time for the
uh-huh,
ring.
because a man knows as soon as he meets you, he already knows.
Yeah.
It don't take more than you
Right.
just know. Okay,
Right.
You don't need 5 years. The matter of fact, we ain't getting past 1 year. Matter of fact, 2. Let's make it 2. I'm gonna give you a chance.
2 is good. 2 is good.
Yeah,
2 is
okay,
good.
okay, all right then. But anyway, let's move on because we talking about acting now. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Now you won the TV show GOAT for motivational speaking.
Yeah.
right?
Shout out to Dr. Diana Watley. Yeah.
Okay, so now it's number 1 on Tubi.
On Tubi. Mhm.
Now, see, Tubi was getting bad raps because all the actors, the SAG was
Terrible.
on strike.
Right.
So now they were showing more.
Now Tubi had all the plays this past year. They had all the plays.
Yeah, the plays.
Yeah.
We was like, what the heck is this? So I was looking for it and couldn't find it.
You couldn't find the GOAT?
I could not find.
no.
I couldn't find yours.
The GOAT Empowerment?
I couldn't find it. You gotta show it to me.
Okay,
could not
I will.
find
I'll
it
send
for
you
me.
a link.
Yeah, please do. But anyway, that I thought now you're doing some motivational speaking
Right.
there, and you is just you.
So no, so that's not what it was. So it's a competition. It's called the Goat Empowerment. If you put in the Goat Empowerment, it should pop up.
Okay, see, that's what the part. Okay, all right, then got it.
Okay, yeah. And so it's not going to be just me on the cover. It's Dr. Diana Watley. It's
Okay.
some other judges.
Some other judges.
Yeah, some
Okay.
Dr. Joe Johnson. So anyway, what it is, it's a motivational speaking competition similar to American Idol. And so
Got it.
they had about 150 people come and audition. I had never done public speaking before, but I ended up winning. So that was definitely a God moment. Yeah, thank you. So it was a really cool experience for me. They had Pastor Jamal Bryant come, and he kind of
Get out. What
yeah.
he do? What he say?
No, he really helped me. He was, just basically explaining what public speaking is, how do you really need to hook people in the beginning, and how the message needs to end well. And I learned a lot from him in that short amount of time. Is it Willie Moore Jr.?
Yeah.
I sat down and
Willie B. I think Willie B. Right?
no, I think it's Willie Moore Jr. He's on the radio.
B. Moore Jr. Something.
I don't know.
Something
With
how
the
he
guy with the
says
hat?
it. I know who you're talking
All right,
about.
cool.
I keep thinking he's Willie B. Moore. Oh, well, anyway, go on, move on.
So he was on the show, and like I said, Dr. Diana Watley, she created the show,
Cool.
and it was a wonderful experience for me, and it really opened me up to more of my calling, because up until now I've just been doing singing and acting. So to be able to do motivational speaking has really changed my life.
A whole
Yeah, it's a whole nother, and it's more of my calling for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Everyone has a story in them, and I know you do. Like you shared earlier about
All kind of
sex
things.
trafficking, and that you was a victim of that.
Right. Everything that I've gone through. I had spent some time in federal prison. And so I had the opportunity about 2 months ago to be able to go into Hancock State Prison, which is a men's facility. And then I went back about 2 weeks ago. And just to be able to walk back into those same prison doors, even though it wasn't the same prison I was at,
Right.
and to be able to inspire and give help and hope to other individuals who had kind of gone through something similar as me. Yeah, it means a lot. And so, my story started long before sex trafficking. My mom
Before they gave it a name, sex
right.
traffic.
Well,
yeah.
My mom was
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
My mom was a crackhead. My mom was on drugs like a lot of our mothers, but
Yeah, right.
so the struggle for me started a long time ago.
How old were you when this happened to you?
Old enough to know right from wrong. Yeah.
Say like 18.
No, I was old enough to know right from wrong.
Oh,
yeah. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. But when you feel like you're doing the right thing for the right person, you'll do anything. And that's why
I get it.
It's a very dangerous game called love. So,
Yes.
Speaking back to my man and you talking about a ring and stuff, I'm so thankful for where we are without one right now. Because
Got
it's
it.
real, genuine, compassionate love. Something that can't be
As long as
bought.
you are comfortable and you feel
Yeah.
that genuineness, definitely go. Yes, go for it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
'Cause I
I
definitely-
ring because I just be like ring.
Right. I've definitely had situations in my life to where things were presented very nicely in a package and it wasn't what it was perceived to be. So
You learned a lot about yourself at this time, basically. Till this day, I'm talking about right now.
I learned a lot about myself. Yeah, definitely up until now,
Yes.
but while being in prison, because I spent right before I met you, I had just came home from prison.
No.
I spent all of 2019 locked up. I self-surrendered in February. I got out of actual federal prison in October, and then I spent 2 months in the halfway house after that. So I was fresh off. So, for me to come home and then boom, I'm on Amazon Prime doing a movie, starring my first movie that
Go
I've
ahead,
ever
girl.
been in.
Go ahead.
And then 6 months later, I'm starring in a television show that's on Amazon Prime. So it was just like, God was really
dwindling.
so the Dwindling Flame is on Amazon Prime. And then
Yes.
also Something Like Love was the
Something
TV
like
show.
Love? Okay.
So-
Is that on Amazon Prime? You said? Okay.
Yep. So season 1 and season 2, shout out to Dev Harris. So God just continued to bless me after a lot of people thought it was over for me. A lot of people still look down on me, and that's okay. That's what they're supposed to do because that's the human nature. But that's why I do motivational speaking
Gotcha.
and public speaking, because it's not just because I have a story, but it's so that others know that whatever wrong that they have done, it doesn't mean that you have to stop. That God's glory is able to show others that He is the reason why we are where we are. That no man or woman can take us to any heights higher than God.
Amen. I definitely like that because some people feel like they just want to crawl under a rock and die.
Exactly.
And it's not over for you. I don't care how old you are or whatever you have
Yeah.
done. There's a purpose because it's not. I always said because when I look back, and I say to anyone else, uh, it wasn't about you. It's for someone else.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know?
I mean, that's why there's so many stories in the Bible. It's not, some people say the Bible's not real. Say it's not. These stories are written for a reason so that you can know that redemption is real.
Exactly. I love it, girl. I just love it.
Thank you.
Okay, now the documentary you have. This document with Jabari. Jaraquay. I keep saying like girlfriends from what's the name because she always keep messing up his name. Well, Jabari Hayes from BMF. So you have a documentary. Tell me about.
So it's not out yet. Shout out to Jabari Hayes. It's about prison reform and us really figuring out a way to not have so many people go back to prison. I mean, because ultimately that is their goal, right? You can go all over the country and it's so many people who have reoffended and they're going back. It's because me spending that short amount of time in prison, I've realized there's no tools for us to not go back to prison. When you go there, it's nothing but games and working out and hood books and things of this nature. What are we going to do to highlight the minds while they're away? And so I was blessed to be in a position to where I self-surrendered. So I had 6 weeks to prepare myself to go to prison. So I knew that I wasn't going to let this mess up my life. But what about the people that go from county jail straight to prison who aren't able to get bonded out?
Right.
What can we do so that our brothers and sisters or anybody, white, no matter what the race, what can we do so that they can actually benefit from coming to prison, right? Because what's the point of it just being punishment without actual like knowledge to not come back?
Rehabilitation.
Exactly. So that's what this whole documentary is about. Jabari spent some time in prison as well. I don't know the amount of years, but it was enough for him to want to come home and make a difference. And so we are trying to get this in all the prison systems in the United States.
How are you doing that? How will you do that? To reach out to all these.
There's Anita Davis at the Hancock State Prison. Women like her who are actually taking on the challenge to make sure that these men and women have a future. Miss Anita Davis didn't have to let me come to prison because some prisons won't even let me enter because I am an ex-felon. So, yeah. I couldn't go to federal prison. I can't go until like another 2 years to the federal prisons because I haven't been on probation long enough. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
So it's just partnering up with the right people who are over these programs and letting them know, like, listen, we have something. If you want to play this for them, however we can do this, because each time someone is getting ready to be released, they do have a program at the prison that they do. I think it's like 30 days to 90 days from your release. They do it like every few weeks. But usually in that, they just have like a probation officer come by, tell you like the things that you can and cannot do. They give you some resources that are not real. So things of that nature.
You said not real.
Yeah. I mean, I say that in the documentary. So, a lot of people think that just because you go to prison that you don't deserve a second chance at life. And there's some things that are just, for a lot of people, unforgivable. You murder someone's family and things of that nature. Like, I'm never here to tell you that you shouldn't be angry with that person. But what about the person who did small petty crime or what about the person who was manipulated into sex trafficking? What about all these different factors? What are we supposed to do with these people?
And what about, let me ask you this question. It just came to mind. Now, because marijuana, it seemed to be a legal thing. Right. What about those that have been actually thrown into prison for something like that? Right. Are they reformed? Is that the right word I'm using? Should they be reformed? Because they were sent to prison because of marijuana, whatever they had on them.
Right.
And because we all know that was all but a trap, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
What about them now that it is legal?
Right.
Are they removing them from the system?
So I believe in California they are, but not, it's still becoming legal in so many other states. But I think there's like still a long process that you have to do. It's not like.
Because it's a lot of them.
Right. It's not like, okay, now that it's legal, I get to be released from prison. And I shout out to California. They have a lot of wonderful laws that the rest of the states, we really need to take on because it is a trap.
Yeah. Oh Lord, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
You know, to think about how many people, and now that they gotta wait, and that they don't have any legal counsel, and if they gotta look at everyone's file,
Right.
and they're not taking that time out to do that from the other states. That
Right.
I'm sure.
Right.
You know, that's my.
Because there's millionaires that own these prisons.
Oh,
Majority of the
about to get
prisons
there.
are private institutions.
Yes, they are.
So that means that, you know, you hear a lot of people say, I pay my taxes. You pay your taxes for the state, for the county jails. You don't pay your taxes for these prisons because these are privately funded.
They are.
And they make so much money. So one federal prisoner is $80,000 a year. You know how much that you can tax off of that? I don't know the exact number, but it's not designed to keep us from coming back. It's designed to trap us there. So now that we know that for a fact,
Yes.
what can we do as a community to help? And since I've been there, God placed it on my life to have to go through federal prison. I have to be the one that shouts the loudest, because it's too many people that have left and forgot about it. It's so many people that you probably know and they'll never tell you they spent a day in the feds because of shame and guilt or whatever it may be. But I'm not going to be that person. So I'm going to tell I was in federal prison. Okay. I'm going to scream it loud. That's what I went through.
Is there a difference between federal prison than
the state? Yeah. So the federal prison is, just to make it make sense, my case said Brandi Little versus the United States of America.
Okay.
When you do state things, it's going to say, Brandi Little versus, I'm not even gonna say my name. Such Johnny Doe versus versus Fulton County.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. No. What's the difference between the two? Like the care, the behaviors?
I can't say for sure because I've never gone to state prison, but I do.
No. Federal. Come on, federal.
So with federal, you do more. You do 85% of your time. Most states, it's just 50% of your time. 85% of your time. It's usually a more higher in case, more money involved for the the country to want to pick it up.
Gotcha.
Right. Versus it just being state.
Gotcha. Wow. That's really interesting. I mean, just to know that you as a woman, and I see that when women go in, you won't. I saw one woman, she actually videotaped herself. She came out and so on, and she's doing better for herself. But then they don't show you the other, like the downside or the ugly part when they're out.
Yeah. It was hard for me. It's still hard. I'm still trying to bounce back and recover from that because everything that I had was taken from me, and I guess you can say rightfully so, fair game. So, me trying to come back, I came back during the pandemic, and life looks good for me.
You did.
Right? I came back, 2 months before the pandemic happened. So I'm on television and doing all these cool things, but it's still like me having to relearn everything because once you spend time away, the world continues to move forward and we're at a pause, and this is not for sympathy or anything because I knew that what I was doing wasn't right. I did know that. But I also do know that people deserve second chances and they deserve help once they come home. If not, keep them there forever. You know what I mean? Because why allow someone to come back home and not know any knowledge? When I went to go speak at Hancock State Prison, there's some men who've been there for 30 years. They don't know how to use no computer. You know what I'm saying? What are they going to do when they see like electric cars and things like that?
They don't have.
They have computers, they do. But like the computers that they have are still regular desktop computers with the,
Okay, like back in the 80s or something like that?
I'm not going to say 80s or 2008, 9, right.
I'm just saying,
right.
The box thing is so heavy.
Exactly.
Beige computer.
Exactly.
Well, wow. I tell you, because now I have to bring to on the funny side of supposedly comical, whatever. You see a lot of these prisoners, they have phones.
Yeah, they do.
They're not supposed to have a phone. Or
but they got them.
They can't have. Because some of them be like, no, man, they trying to like.
Yeah.
What?
They got some cell phones, that's for sure. Not the female prisons, because females, we talk too much. We too jealous to let somebody else have a cell phone. And so you not gonna let me use your cell phone? Yeah. You're not finna find no phones in no women's prison. But men, men stick together way more than women do.
Who you telling? Because they be on there on the internet just looking for ladies and ladies be like answering them, and so on. And I'm sitting here like, a whole crew is in there. And I don't know how to respond.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. I think I've been inside of a prison one time, and I worked in a jail.
Yeah.
At the precinct, actually, I worked at the precinct with the detectives. So It was okay. Look, I will wish it on no one.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
wish it on no
yeah.
one. How do you feel about since now that you've been out, you shared that with us, and time has moved on, and all I can think of how you're feeling is I am blessed.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I've come out of this, and it's like, and I've been accepted in doing such and such, movies and and so on. I applaud you. I really do.
Thank you.
I mean, and then this girl, she's singing and all over the place. When you hear her, you sound like like I said, a Jill Scott with a Nina Simone. And I love the way you sound. And now you have you doing motivational speaking for prisoners, and is that the right way to say it, for prisoners?
You can say
inmates.
Yeah.
Inmates.
I really don't know the technical term.
I don't know either. So
I just call them my brothers and
Take it
sisters
down.
that's locked up.
Brothers and sisters locked up.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
brothers and sisters locked up. I tell you, God bless you all, because I was going over something with when Katrina happened, and I understand those the guards, they just left the prison, they left the job, left the inmates in there for days or weeks, I believe, came back and it sent them somewhere else that was even worse.
Mm-hmm.
I was hurt by that,
Mm-hmm.
that they left them there like that and not
Mm-hmm.
knowing what the heck was going on.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like that happens all the time. It broke my heart. I don't remember the woman's name, and I need to get in contact with someone so that I can start honoring her name by speaking her name.
Okay.
But she passed away while I was waiting in medical. She just died. She just fell out and died. And it was an older lady, maybe in her 50s
Are
or
you kidding
60s,
me?
black lady. And, I had been going every day because my face broke out so bad while I was in prison. I had acne everywhere. I looked like a troll, like literally. And so I had kept going to medical every day to try to get my face, help me figure this out.
Gotcha.
And the same lady was there. And so to see her waiting at 8 a.m. for the first move, and before lunch at 10 to see her just fall out, and then to hear later on that night that, like, okay, she passed away. It's sad. And so, it's the prisons aren't designed for us to be
Get better,
okay.
to do better,
Right.
To be when you come out, to be civilized, be citizens in this society. And it's crazy to me, and it was very painful for me to even listen. I was like, I can't watch this no more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching. I'm like, okay, I can't do this no more.
Yeah, same
That
with
was-
like the heat. The heat is
Yes,
it's
I
so
was
hot,
worried
like in
about that.
Texas and all these other places where they're like, it's bad.
So you're talking about this kind of thing in your documentary with Mr. Jabari Hayes.
I personally am not talking about this, but like I said, there's a lot of other people who are very successful to this day, who have spent time in
Yes.
federal prison, who they express their experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're hoping, Jabari's hoping that with this documentary, it shifts the world, because that's what needs to happen, especially our nation. Like I said, there's Amsterdam, all these other places where there's prisons and they live in apartments that are on an island. But that's fine. They change their mindset, because you have to think of it like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're sending me somewhere, you're telling me I'm a monster, and then I get there and you're treating me like a monster, why would I ever think that I am a king or a queen or anything else?
Exactly.
19 Keys said something a long time ago, and he was like, next time you walk past a homeless person, say, hello, king. Do that, and then tell me the reaction that they give you. Sometimes we have to remind people of who they are. And so that's what happened for me. I had to remind myself. I only drank water. I didn't eat snacks. I didn't read hood books. I only read books about my mind and how to,
Gotcha.
make myself a better version of myself, and it worked for me.
Right.
So, but I was wise enough to know that. But you
Right.
sending a 19, 20-year-old to prison, these young girls don't have that. They don't have real guidance. These young men don't have that. And so 30 years passes and they come home. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you were saying something earlier similar to that, I was thinking about the person that doesn't think like that. Because not everyone's going to.
No, they're not.
Going to, I need to better myself.
And can we fault them?
No, you can't.
You've been told you ain't
You are
SHIT
a
your
product
whole
of-
life.
You've been a product of your environment.
Exactly.
Is what we call it.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier. We mentioned earlier about glory, right? Giving grace
Grace, yes.
and giving other people grace. But it has to start with you. You
Yeah.
gotta start giving yourself some grace. what does that mean? Can you expound on that a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. Like for me, hate to keep talking about this, but when I came home, right, I carried around so much shame.
Okay.
Even when we met, you didn't know.
Right.
But in my mind, I was always looking over my shoulder, knowing that someone knew, knowing that someone was judging, because they had the right to. You know what I mean? And so until I decided to forgive myself, that's when like a whole world opened up for me. And that's when projects like Bloom were able to happen, because I no longer cared what such and such said or how they felt. And so me being able to have grace for myself, to experience the grace that God had already granted me, it's allowing me to have grace for others, because we are so harsh on someone. We can be driving down the street and somebody can cut us off and we cussing them out for the next 30 minutes and we don't even see them no more. Right.
Yeah.
Can you believe that person cut me off? Or, we lose a job opportunity and we upset with them because they fired us. But you know what? That was God's blessing. So instead of me being upset with somebody about what they do to me or how they treat me, I'm going to have grace for you and I'm going to let you go your way, because I know the God that I serve, he's going to take care of me. And so I'm not going to experience those blessings if I'm holding on to animosity.
You're right.
I got to let that go. People are going to piss you off every day. Every single day, somebody is going to upset you. That's the enemy's goal. So your rebuttal is to be happy genuinely, to wish them well genuinely. Right. Okay? Right. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct, because, woo, child, it's every day. It's how what's your approach? What is your response? And, again, product of your environment. If you don't know, but once you do know,
you better spread the message. Yeah.
Definitely. I like that. Definitely. Sobriety.
Yay!
You mentioned sobriety, and can you tell us a little bit more about that sobriety journey and that movement?
For sure. So today is 83 days sober. When you guys see this, yay, thank you.
Yes, indeed.
When you guys see this, it'll be 90. But I'm so thankful to be on this journey. I've never considered myself an alcoholic. I never had to wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning and I need a drink, looking for a beer. But I am an entertainer, and in the world of entertainment, there is always another drink. And so I am a binge drinker. I needed to drink to produce Bloom. I was drunk the entire album. I was lit. Are you kidding me? Yeah. It was after I had done my actual show. I'm just going to the studio to kick back and vibe. I was lit. You know what I'm saying? Performances. I got to be lit to perform. Some acting things.
You're not doing that no more.
No. I haven't had a drink of liquor.
No, you said 3 months now.
Yep. Right? Well, close. I'm 83 days today.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you. I didn't want to assume. I did not. It was one of the songs I was listening to, and I promise you,
I was lit.
Popped up into my head.
Yeah, you probably felt it. It's a spirit.
And I think because when you mentioned sobriety, and then when I went back to and I was listening to one of the songs, I said, "Was she? I don't think so."
I was either high off some marijuana or something. It was one of them. Yeah.
Now, what made you just say no more?
I had realized I lost my today's my father's birthday, October 29th. And so my dad passed away in January of this year. Yes. And so I was also falling in love with my man. And so I had all of these different emotions that were happening. And so I started to just drink and eat. And so I've gained 40 pounds. I had just gone into this place of self-healing. I think the word is escapism. I was escaping from my feelings, even the good ones and the bad ones.
Right.
And so I had another situation arise in August 24th, and it shattered me. And
of course, because you remember the date.
Exactly. And so, and that day I was like, nah. Right. I'm just not about to do this anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not going to drink anymore. I'm just going to get my body right, my mind right. I have to figure this out. And it's been really hard for me. This has not been an easy journey. So anybody who wants to go on this sober journey, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it was all easy. I was extremely emotional. I was very moody. I was mean to a lot of people that I love.
Your chemical imbalance.
Exactly. Yeah. And so for some people, it takes 3 weeks for their bodies to readjust to not drinking alcohol. Others, it takes a whole 12 months.
going through a whole what they call
withdrawal.
it? Yeah, withdrawal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But the clarity that I have right now, the peace of mind. Like last night, we went out to a bar and was playing ping pong, and everybody around me
Went
was
to a
drinking.
bar.
Yeah, I still go to bars all the
So
time.
that doesn't. How does that?
I think that in the beginning it was a little bit
Yeah.
more hard, but like I said, in this entertainment business, most of my shows are at bars, and so I knew that I had to learn how to be around other people drinking and be okay with not drinking.
Exactly.
I had to go in from, I had to go inside of the wound, and I know a lot of people can't do that. Some people have to move away. They can't hang out with the same friends, but I've had a very supportive community since deciding that I didn't want to drink, and just by doing the research, it's such a it factor thing. Like, you can't be an it girl and not have a cocktail when you go out. It's a part of our look, of our aesthetics. And for women, it's different for us to drink versus men, because women, we carry so much more in our body. So it raises our risk of everything. Cancer.
There's a lot of, for one, weight gain, and especially in the
In your gut.
belly, in
It's
the gut.
terrible.
We already have a how you say fat, natural fat that's on our bodies, and then we have the drinking. It causes raise heart disease, even worse for women, when it comes to drinking.
Yeah. So there's not any safe amount of alcohol for a woman.
There isn't.
It's not.
None. Not one bit.
And I don't care what they say.
0.1,
It's no safe amount.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Lord,
and especially like in the mommy community, like it's such a thing. Like, oh, like, oh my gosh, I need a glass of wine because the kids are wearing me out, and I need, and
that's not that. They don't realize how when you say things like that, that it's the same,
right,
as a person, they're going through really harsh, like what you had to go through with sobriety, smoking, just eating.
Yeah.
Damn sex. It doesn't matter what kind of addiction. It's still an addiction when you have to. That's the only thing you need to have to get you
by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that something?
Yeah, it really is. And that's,
what took place for you when you didn't do this the drinking?
I'm not ready to disclose that just yet. It like I said, it was pretty hard for me because I had never experienced anything like that. And when it is the right time, I will speak about it because I am an open book.
Of course.
But yeah, I'm just it was life changing for me.
When's the next album coming out?
So I don't know. I have a whole album basically recorded, and so I've just been trying to find the right time to release it. I don't know if I want to release. I do not have a title because I'm in the middle stages of trying to see if I want to just release them as singles or release them as a whole project, because it was all recorded at the same time.
Don't they usually? You can take a single and then come out with the,
Yeah, you can come out with the whole project.
Taste, a little taste, and then come out with the whole project.
Yeah,
they do that too.
But people are still riding the Bloom wave. I mean, it came out a year and a half ago, but like, it's so many people that haven't heard of it, and when they do hear it, they're like going crazy. I think I get like 12, I always say it wrong, 12 Shazams a week.
Really?
But really, people like my song, If This Is Love. That's not on Bloom.
That's not on Bloom.
But I like right now, if I look at my Apple, it's 12 Shazams.
Shazam?
Yeah.
Or Shazam? I don't know.
Anyway. That thing where you play the music and it plays. They love it. So, so I'm trying to decide, because I have some really great songs that kind of go into more detail about what I went through during the sex trafficking times and what that experience was like. Yeah.
And this is the new one.
These are the new songs that have not been heard.
Okay.
Yep. We recorded them in, where were we? Delaware, with this guy named Herb Middleton. He's a producer from back in the day. He produced a lot for Mary J. and a lot of those artists. And so we're just trying to decide when would be the great time to release it, or they may never be heard.
Tell me about, now on another note, with Dwindling Flame. Dwindling Flame. I was trying to... I saw that now. So tell everybody about that one now.
Okay.
When this one came out, in
2020.
2020, right? 2020. Yeah. So then I started thinking about Tubi. Then I started thinking about everybody bringing out something in that time, because everyone needed something to watch to keep them entertained.
Well, I gotta give my boy his props, because when this came out, nobody else had anything on Amazon Prime. Like, he was ahead of game, and the same with something like Love. Like, 2021 is when everybody was like, oh, you can put your stuff on Amazon Prime.
You can. Now, y'all went to a
Right.
retreat because your marriage
Yeah,
and
yeah,
such and such was going,
Yeah.
shambles. Tell us a little bit.
So, Dwindling Flame is basically about a marriage. They've been together for 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
and they are starting to have major, major problems in their relationship. So, they go on this couples retreat, and in the couples retreat, they go to counseling, and
Mm-hmm.
they kind of connect with other married couples, and they learn how to love each other all over again. And I think that's the great dynamic of any relationship, is knowing how to rekindle the flame, because it's there. And so, the Dwindling Flame.
Can you apply some of this to your life?
And
In your relationships,
um
in the relationship you have now that you're having an issue, but there were some things you can take to add to your.
Well, absolutely, yeah, because there's not gonna always be happy times and happy moments. I mean, we're human.
It wouldn't be
It wouldn't
like a
be real.
relationship, I suppose.
Yeah. What I will say is, like, me and my man, we don't argue. Like, we're not, yelling at each other. It's none of that, like, verbal abuse stuff. But there are times when I'm just in a bad mood because I'm moody and I'm a woman, and
You better stop that.
I better be
What
honest
you
with
think?
myself.
Because you're a woman.
So you don't feel, honestly, ask yourself this. As a woman, you don't know that we carry emotions that men do not carry, right or wrong. We are emotional beings. They are thinkers. That is a proven fact.
Well, I would say for my, then I probably have too much going on because I overthink.
That's
me.
an emotional, though. That's
Well,
emotional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm a thinker. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about, okay, what's next? What I'm going
Mhm.
to do? But then, the emotions. But then because I was telling my daughter the other day, I said, we go with the stars, the moon, the whole earth change. Things change. That's how we are. And that's the beautiful part.
Yeah, I don't
about
mean
it.
that it's
And
nothing
anyone-
wrong with us.
No,
Right.
nothing
But
wrong at all.
we have to admit.
Acknowledge. I was saying to her to acknowledge. Now that you acknowledge what's happening to you,
Mhm.
now you know how to handle this
Absolutely.
situation.
Yeah.
She didn't know what was happening to her, and I was like, okay, look, you didn't have a baby before, you didn't have a husband before, and you haven't been 30 before. So what?
Right.
So now you have to understand. Okay, this is what I could be going through: premenopause, postpartum.
All kind of
All
emotions.
kinds of stuff happening.
I mean,
and
it's
then
just-
with the trauma bonds, and it's too much.
Right.
Too much.
Yeah.
To the point where you just ball out, cry, crawl, and stuff.
Right.
Know what to do.
Exactly.
And I said, but it's important to talk to someone that can relate with you. That's the
Or-
thing.
Or, I have to give my man his props. Someone's patient with me. Because I'm going to have my attitude. But then
Yes.
thank you for being patient with me, because you just being patient is making me be like, maybe I overreacted because I shouldn't even have said
That would be me.
Yeah.
You gotta be patient. If I'll be like, you yelling. Now I'm ready to leave.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, hold
Yeah.
on.
But that goes the same for us as women. I feel
Yeah.
like we need to be more patient with men. And so,
I agree. I
yeah.
agree. I definitely agree.
So that's been my takeaway from the Dwindling Flame, and it's carried over into my relationship now, because I genuinely care about, like, his heart, and so I never want to be too abrasive or too me, and
I agree.
like the whole team thing is a really big thing for me now.
I
yeah,
definitely agree.
yeah.
Do you find that you mentioned that your mom was
A drug addict.
a drug
Mhm.
addict? What about your dad?
I still don't know who my dad is, so yeah, there's that. My birth father. I was adopted at 6 weeks, so yep.
Okay. Well, I don't know about adoption, but I know it's a lot when you're trying to find. Have you tried your ancestry?
So I did the ancestry DNA. It says I'm Nigerian, but it
How
did
much?
not.
How much
It's
Nigerian?
like 37%.
I'm 28.
Yeah,
I'm 28%.
yeah.
I was like, well, damn. Okay.
But everybody seems to be Nigerian, so I'm gonna do the African DNA one, because I'm like, come on, we can't all be from Nigeria.
I'm not. Look. I'm just put it out here.
What?
We did the reviews on the African ancestry one.
Uh-huh.
They want, I don't know, like $300.
Right.
One person. And if it's two people, what they want. I'm like, wait a minute. Then I'm hearing then I look at the reviews.
It's terrible.
It's not good.
Well, I'm just gonna have to
Not
die and
good.
go on to heaven before I find out where.
Oh,
I'm
stop
from.
that. No.
But
I
yeah,
just looked at it and I said, okay, there are some of my family members have you looked at your family members that did put themselves into the ancestry?
Yeah, and
registry?
there's like it's like you know how it's like the third and fourth cousins. It's like
Did you see it first, and you see it?
I don't have any first cousins on there. The only person that I have on there is my little niece, and it says half niece. Yeah, because me and my sister don't have the same dad, so I don't even know how they picked up on that, but it picked up on that. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. No, because there are a lot of people that are
fine. That's the only reason I did it. Like I was so excited. I was like, "This is it. I'm gonna find out who my dad is." You know. And I'm from a really, really small town, so it's like, come on,
What
it can't
part
be
again?
that hard. It's called Soperton, Georgia. That's where I'm from. Yeah, girl. Yep.
Girl.
It's
Where
that
is
country.
that?
It's in the middle of nowhere. So I'm from there, but I grew up in a smaller town that's a little bit bigger called Warner Robins. Warner Robins,
yeah.
Macon. And so that was like a military town. So
Yeah.
that was cool. But yeah, so you know, I would think by now that I would know who my dad is, but I think God is just trying to tell me like, it ain't, you don't even need to know. You
I
fine.
wouldn't say that, but I mean, have you looked back at it again? Did you go back in there?
Yeah,
Some
I probably
people
went
start
like
adding things in
2
there.
weeks ago. Yeah, I used to
did.
be like on it like every week, but now I give it a few months. And some more third, fourth cousins have popped up, but that's about it. Yeah.
On the paternal side, did you look at the paternal side?
Yeah, I looked at everything. Yep.
Okay, because that can lead, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
It actually, it's weird because I guess because I'm adopted, it pops up that my father who passed away, that he's my dad.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It pops up that he's my dad, but he's not really my dad.
In the ancestry?
I'll show you when we.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious. So it
Wait a
has
minute.
my grandmother and my grandfather, but then I've had other cousins that are like actually my dad's nieces. They've done the same thing, and none of us are connected. Yeah. So you know.
See, that's what made me think about this when they be taking your information. It just makes me wonder. Now, how in the world, if you don't know about your father, but yet your adopted father is coming up as your father?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And it makes me think like you know you hear them stories where you thinking that's your aunt and turn around that's really your mama because they know what the truth is and they're not telling you. That's crazy.
That is crazy. But he's not, but you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know, but I can't wait to show you like when we
Like
stop.
my brother
Yeah.
is coming up as my first and second cousin, something like that.
Yeah.
And I know that's my father's child. I was saying, hey, come on now, that don't make any sense.
Yeah. I've only had 2 other cousins that did it, and they both have different moms that are both my dad's sisters. If that makes sense, I hope that's coming across right. And
So it'd be your aunts.
it would be my aunts, which would technically be my first cousin. So we should be connected. It should say, and they're not on there. No. And then they have 0 Native American, and I have like 2% Native American. Maybe it's 5% Native American. Yeah.
My cousin, she came up. My first cousin, she came up, had Asian in there.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I can
see that there.
I can see that. I can.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that my daughter, she looks just like her.
Oh wow.
And she looks, and my daughter also looks like my brother.
Right.
They both got them eyes. I'm like, why y'all look?
Right.
I don't get that part.
Right.
But anyway.
I will say that in the Black community, family secrets and skeletons are so big.
That's
So
what I
with
was
me,
about
with
to
my
say.
children, we talk about it all. I recently had to kind of explain to my son what I went to prison for. That was really hard, and he was like, "Mom, I don't even know what that is, but I don't care." I'm like, crying like, "Thank you so much."
But I love that. The fact that he said, look, I don't know what it is, but
He's like, "I forgave you before you went to prison." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Because he was 5 when I went
But
away.
even if you did,
Yeah.
even if you did or did not, the thing is, you should, like, why are you angry with, why be angry?
Well, I think children have the right to be angry with their parents when they go to prison.
It's children, that's different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when you're grown.
Oh,
right
yeah,
and
yeah,
wrong,
yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Well, he ain't grown yet.
Well,
so,
no,
yeah.
I know that, but I'm talking about the people that are
Yeah.
grown. You're upset about what exactly?
Right.
Still, my mom, she went to jail the day after I graduated high school.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that she was like going into this
Right.
for drugs.
Right.
And I'm like, what the world? What is going on here?
Right.
And I'm I am just like all over the place.
Flabbergasted.
I have no idea. And she didn't stay in there that long because I don't know what the world happened or whatever. But
Right.
she chose not to say anything.
Exactly.
my issue is the communication with parents that just don't want to just say she didn't do that with us like you did with your child.
Yeah. I feel like I want to break that generational curse, or I won't even call it a curse, but just cultural, where we keep things from our kids because we think we're protecting them, because so much was kept from me as a child that it ended up breaking me, my spirits once I found out. And I felt like I couldn't trust anyone. And so I was one of those kids who grew up still angry at my birth mother for being addicted to drugs, when that's an addiction. And here I am years later, addicted to something, using substance to escape. So I'm just learning. As time goes on, I'm gonna continue to learn. I pray that I'm nowhere near the person I am today in 10 more years, if God gives me that much time here. So I feel like our ultimate goal as humans should be to constantly get as much knowledge as we can.
Revolve.
Continue to reinvent yourself always. Yeah, because there's no need for you to stay the same. And if you are like content in where you are, I mean, I think that's great to be happy with your life and your surroundings. I'm not saying don't be happy, but always strive for more, and not more money, but more knowledge. Yeah.
I was not angry with my mom when she went to jail, just so you know.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Where you ain't
Your mom's gonna be like, you was angry?
No, I wasn't angry. I was just more, mind you, she didn't even raise us. But when she did come around, I'm like, well, okay, what other drama you bringing around here?
Right.
It was that kind of thing with me, but. Okay. Yeah. I tell you, what is it that you have to, what would you tell someone different when it comes to, you mentioned, let me digress. Okay. You said that there was something about, you didn't mention with sex trafficking, you didn't mention the age, but you said you knew better. What would you tell someone now today, because I know it's still happening? What could you tell someone to help save them right now?
Well, anyone that genuinely loves you is never going to have you position yourself in such a way to where they are using you to gain. I'll say that again. No one that loves you is ever going to position you to use you for something to gain. And no one is ever going to, no one that loves you is ever going to position you. I don't know what I said.
That's okay.
That's that freestyle thing.
If someone says that they love you, they won't put you in a position to harm you, to get you in trouble, is what you're saying. Go ahead. You can put in those words now. Your words.
No one that loves you is ever going to put you in a position to harm you just for their own gain. So if you have someone that's telling you that if you do all of this and give me all of your money, I'm going to take care of you, that's not love.
That sounds like a pimp.
Well, yeah. And with that, it's they might know everything about you. They may be able to comfort you and tell you things about how they can help you and move past pain, but that is not love. And you deserve real, genuine love. And if you have to give it to yourself first, do that so that you can experience it from others.
I think that if you have to ever question yourself, is this right? Or if your gut feeling feels queasy, then it's not the right move.
Yeah, because I questioned myself the whole experience, and I still continued on because I wanted that love so bad. And this isn't a bash.
You didn't know what love was. You didn't know what it was.
I never did. Yeah,
right. That's fine.
I've never known. But I will say that I hindered my own self from finding love because I wanted it in others. And true love starts with yourself.
Definitely.
It sounds so cliche, but it's so true.
No, well, cliche away, because you have to know you got to love yourself first. I have to tell you one dangerous thing for me. When my mom was doing what she was doing, right? And I never forget this one particular time, though it kept happening more than once, but this was the one that, like, whoa, I'm at a bus stop in Brooklyn. I'm standing on the waiting for the bus, and someone pulls up, one of them in the car. There was two men in the car, and they just basically literally stopped right there and said, "Okay, that's Boogie's daughter," and I said, "Oh, hell no!" But then they kept going. They stopped, said it, drove off, and that right there was a sign for me. This is not cool. because that means they're looking for her. And what I grew up knowing is that if they can't get to you, they're gonna get to someone that you know or love. And I was like, no. And this is when she ended up going to jail, after this. And I thought that was so dangerous. And I feel you when you in that situation. I was like, that was really scary for me. I could only imagine, and I felt that one. I was like, okay. How you feel when I said that?
What did I put my children in danger?
No.
Oh, what?
I mean, just to having yourself in a situation and having that feeling that someone's watching you and they after you, with this, about sex trafficking or wherever it may be.
I never felt like someone was after me.
Okay.
After the feds came to my house and things like that, then I felt that, and I'm just now recently getting to a place of like safety, and I feel like that's happened just recently with my sobriety. Not having the anxiety of who's watching, who's looking, who's talking, because now I don't care because I ain't doing nothing for you no way. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing no one can come at me about to send me back to prison, and there's nothing no one can say to me that's going to make me feel like I'm less than. And even if you genuinely live and die, because there's some family members that just don't look at me the same way, and I had to accept that that's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of love around me, so I'm good.
I'm happy that you have all of that.
Yeah.
And tell everybody where they can find you on your next show and where they can find you online.
Yeah. So my website is brandilittlmusic.com. That's Brandi with an I. My album, Brandi Little by Bloom by Brandi Little, is everywhere. You have videos, everything like that. My next show I have is November the 18th. I don't know if you remember Dolores Williams, but 424 Fashions, we're doing a giveaway at the House of Hope, I believe.
House of Hope, okay.
And so I'll be there November the 18th. I'll be speaking and singing. So that's where you can catch me next. Yep.
Okay, cool beans.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Miss Brandi Little's in the house. She's in the seat and everything like that. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did,
I hope you don't lie to me now.
Yeah. It was a little intense now.
It was a little intense?
Yeah, it was a little intense now. It was some stuff I wasn't ready to talk about, but okay, Jesus. But it was cool.
You know what? I think anything that is, how do you say, anything in life, it's tough, it's worth it, you know what I'm saying? And someone needed to hear that.
Yeah.
I needed to hear that. I know I shared a little bit, and that's one thing I never forget. That was painful, y'all. I'll tell you, it was real scary. I didn't know what the hell was about to happen. So I feel you, and I it's safety. Comfort.
Yeah.
And I'm happy you have that now.
Yeah.
All right.
And that all comes from God. So, these are times when we need to get close to God. I hope I'm not offending nobody, but I gotta be real. Like
whatever God you serve, go on.
You gotta move past a lot of that other stuff and look what's right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta praise and thank nobody but God.
Okay. Miss Brandi Little in the house. Catch you November 18th at the
House of Hope.
House of Hope. I'll say Hope House. House of Hope. And go to Brandi Little.
Yeah. BrandiLittleMusic.com.
Music.com. That's BRANDI Little.
Music. Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Messing up
I'm your lady being beautiful, me, Andrétta. This is the Andrétta Show. And you can catch us Thursday on Spotify and YouTube at 8 p.m. All right, then peace out. See you next week. With Siobhan. Yes, Siobhan.